Good morning, lovely people. It's Monday morning, and I'm feeling a little jaded after the weekend. It was hubby's 60th, and we had a really, really lovely weekend. And then yesterday I was listening to a webinar that made so much complete sense. It meant that I really needed to rush to my video camera this morning and tell you all about it. And it was about authenticity and people understanding your story. And it made me realize that a lot of the stuff I do online, I'm very, hello, how are you? And I don't give so much of myself. So I decided today to tell you a little bit about my story and why absolutely love to help people find their voices. And that's whether they want to do public speaking or they just want to be able to stand up and say something that is meaningful to them. So this morning, in all my glory, with no makeup on, in my quite messy office that I really need to get to today, and I'm sure like the rest of you, some of it's to do with lack of time, but an awful lot of it's to do with the fact that I'm not that great at tidying up. I live within my chaos and I know where everything is, even if nobody else does. So this morning, I really wanted to tell you that, way back when I was a kid, and I'm not blaming the fact that I was a middle child, in between two incredibly talented and incredibly beautiful sisters. And I was a bit of an ugly duckling, or so I thought in those days. And it was difficult because I felt quite overshadowed by them, and they didn't do anything to make that happen. That was just something within me. And at school, I wasn't particularly popular. And again, I think that was a lot to do with my shyness and my difficulty in really connecting and getting my voice heard because I really believed I didn't have much to say. And I think that's something a lot of us grow up with. And it amuses me, really amuses me when people say to me today, oh, you're so loud and you're so gregarious and you do this and you do that. And I look at them and I think, actually, if only you knew that I do struggle. Even to this day, I struggle sometimes with finding my voice and getting it out without it sounding like I'm shouting at someone or criticising them. Actually, be able to get it very clear and very confident in putting that message across. And I wanted to share that with you because I really, really understand the fear people have of standing up and making their voice heard, and then standing in front of a group of people in terms of public speaking or doing a presentation. That just compounds that fear tenfold, if not more. And I do get that, the sweating palms and the heartbeat going, and that question, that one question you ask yourself just before you're due to go on: why am I doing this? What made me decide to go through this? I must be mad and I'm never doing it again. And the amount of times I've thought that. But actually, once you learn to understand that, once you sort of accept that as part of the deal, and it is part and parcel of the deal, and anyone who tells you they have no nerves when they go on to do a presentation or a speech, no matter how big or small the audience is, I would say they're lying if they're any good. There are degrees of it. I don't throw up. I don't these days, have to battle with myself to get on that stage because experience and knowledge has taught me that, no matter how bad I feel, when I get on there and I start doing my thing, I know my message, I know what I want to say, and everything will come together. So I'm able to, my nerves are reduced because I work to reduce them. So I do get it and I really do understand it. And I understand this idea that speech making is a bit like the politicians doing it. It's all like that and it's very boring. It doesn't have to be, because it's about you. It's about you finding the voice within you. And for some people, it's not about getting onto a stage. It's not anything to do with presentations. It's actually just being able at work to put your hand up in a meeting and say, actually, I have a comment to make, or I disagree with something, or even in the street, even down to just making a complaint in a shop when you're treated really badly, or the haircut goes, no, my haircut went right, I did ask for this. But things like that. So it really is about finding the confidence to grab your voice and let it be heard. And there's a huge difference between talking and speaking. Because we talk every day, all day, to various people, and sometimes things come out that make absolutely no sense. Sometimes, emotion takes hold of it and you say things you didn't mean. Speaking is about having an emotion and wanting a reaction behind it. Speaking is about meaning. It's about getting something out that you absolutely believe in and mean, and wanting someone to connect to that. And in the sense of complaining, it's about doing something about it. So it's very much about understanding what you're thinking and how you're feeling before that voice comes. And the voice, what you're speaking, is a vehicle for those emotions, for that message, for that influencer, if that's what you're doing. And that's what speaking is about. And we can all learn to stop and take that step to understand what it is we are trying to say and why. So today I really wanted to share with you that it took me a long time to understand the difference. And today I'm able, if somebody says, oh, we need someone to get up in front of an audience and just fill a gap, I can do that. But 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I'm talking. I'm just filling space. Because when I speak, when I do a speech at a conference or a Toastmasters speech or a presentation, I'm conveying a very definite message. I want people to do something. I want people to connect and understand. And that's the difference between me jumping up on a stage and talking at people to fill 10 minutes to really getting down and putting what I want to say together so that it means something. Rather like this blog today, I wanted to explain to you that I understand you, and I understand how hard and how difficult it can be. Daft as it seems that we can't just get up on a stage and talk to people, it is incredibly difficult because there are so many fears and confusion built into why you are afraid to do that. And my NLP, which is the neuro-linguistic programming background that I have as a master practitioner, helps you, if you like, to reprogram the way you think about how you're going to do, so that your brain and your body understand how you are going to behave when you go into a stage.